Before this battle, Eddie Hearn, the prestigious advertiser, unhesitatingly determined its result. Hearn accepted that this particular occurrence would stamp an ocean change in Lady's vocation and could make him famous. He's prepared to take out Terence Crawford in Los Angeles. This is the battle that transforms Israil Madoff into a genius, Hearn said on Twitter before this week. Madoff ventured into the ring as the dark horse. Yet a knockout triumph would have adjusted him flawlessly with Hearn's vision hypotheses. World about his future rivals, would it be advisable for him he win? Yet such contemplations are a long way from Lady's center. He said, before the battle, I'm focusing on this battle against Terence Crawford. I don't ponder anything more. I'm there to win the battle, and after the battle, we can discuss all the other things. Tony Bellew held extraordinary reverence for Israil Madoff anyway. He stayed persuaded that the USC Warrior would eventually come up short while confronting Terence Crawford, subsequent to beating Errol Spence. The previous summer, Crawford has found his name ensnared with various potential sessions. Most quite a high-stakes conflict with Canelo Alvarez. Crawford's most memorable rival was Madoff, and Ringer guessed that he would proceed with his phenomenal presentation before this battle. Ringer said, I find it hard to back against Madoff against most adversaries, yet Crawford is something unique. You're taking a gander at one of the most incredible contenders of his age, and he's not making it clear that things are pulling back. He further added, Madoff is a magnificent warrior with numerous incredible characteristics. And you've heard Eddie Hearn discuss how great he will be. He could have a few decent minutes in the battle, yet Crawford is on one more level to most warriors, and I think he'll win again. Joel Diaz, Madoff's mentor, said that Madoff would be a difficult rival. Diaz told Ace Box Television, it's an exceptionally extreme undertaking. Terence Crawford is the best warrior pound for pound and very balanced. It's distinction to chip away at an arrangement to beat him. We have a decent procedure with a decent warrior. Diaz proceeded with, you don't have any idea what's in store with Crawford and Madoff is the same way the two of them roll their positions from the two sides. So we've had great left-handers, right-handers, speed folks, so we can be prepared. We'll expect plan A, B, and C versus Terence Crawford. We realize who we're venturing into the ring against. They were hopeful going into the session. As per Diaz, he added, he's been 100% restrained. He makes his rival self-conscious, and it won't be simple for Crawford. Israil is exceptionally sure. Virgil Ortiz Jr. anticipated that Terence Crawford would get a quick knockout triumph in his title session against Israil Madoff. Crawford, now 37, had one of the most ungreat list of qualifications for a multi-division title holder, comparable to a Dream Broner. Like Broner, Crawford has confronted extensive stretches of latency, and when he ventures into the ring, it's frequently against less testing rivals like David Anen or Warriors over the Hill. For example, Sean Watchman and Errol Spence. Simple stir him up. He was presumably around 180, said coach Robert Garcia to ES News, discussing Israil Madoff during his fighting with Virgil Ortiz Jr. That is the genuine justification for why I say Crawford will get him. I've been in the ring with him. Crawford will get him in under 7, said Virgil Ortiz, foreseeing an early knockout for Terence Crawford over Madoff. Pressures were running intense among Ortiz and the undefeated Madoff following disputable comments in a new meeting. Virgil Ortiz uncovered that Mauve guaranteed he was just playing with him during their fighting meeting, working up a tempest of hostility. Virgil Jr. stayed unconvinced. He immovably declared that he controlled their whole meeting. His coach, Robert Garcia, upheld his case, recommending he dominated the competing game, as though triumph and competing were a genuine article. Do you get a prize for that? Virgil Jr.'s response to the competing could appear to be a piece unimportant, yet it's his approach to producing buzz for his forthcoming session with WBC break junior middleweight champion Sari Bahacek. The battle has battled to catch public interest thanks to a dull special exertion. No measure of promotion could ignite energy among the fans. Virgil Jr. has stayed uninvolved for a really long time, sidelined by tireless medical problems without confronting top-level rivals. He hasn't had the potential chance to catch the consideration of the boxing scene and have a genuine effect with regards to fighting. Israil Madoff could be Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s cunning method for getting some notice, regardless of whether it feels a piece pioneering. Hopefully, Virgil doesn't transform this into his go-to-vocation move by flaunting about competing tales and attempting to sparkle as an instructional course vibe. That is a battle that can happen too, said Robert Garcia, responding to Ali Spack, saying that Virgil Ortiz can take out Crawford. Virgil turns into the interval champion, and Crawford is the WBA champion. That is the following battle that could happen as well. So we had that path too, said Robert, believing Virgil should battle WBC junior middleweight champion Sebastian Fonder. Sean Watchman, a previous opponent of Crawford, said something regarding the session, communicating solid certainty that Bud would deal with the test introduced by Madrimov. Easily, Watchman told DAZN, my most memorable time seeing it was only toward the beginning of today. I observed some Madrimov. I imagine that Terence, it generally takes you 2 or 3 rounds. To see what these folks bring to you, I hope to see Madoff in front of you. I anticipate that the stick should emerge from Crawford. He further added, I anticipate that he should begin the battle universal. I think this will be a tomfoolery battle. You will have your hands full. However, I figure you will deal with it. You generally handle it. Certain individuals are destined to do what they do. And this youngster is destined to do what not set in stone, to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. In the end, Bud started his progress to the division by moving to 150 for PBS to confront Israil Madrimov, who caught the WBA title from Magomed Kurbanov, recently remained as Bud's most memorable test. In this new weight class in April, Tim Bradley anticipated that Crawford would pound Madrimov during their session. Bradley commented that Crawford beats anybody he faces in the ring, declaring that nobody can overcome Terence Crawford. He referenced that those endeavoring to outlive Crawford by hanging tight for him. So much sure were mixed up. Bradley featured that 14 days earlier, Crawford had finished 15 4-minute rounds, 12 with Shocker, and 3 with Shocker's cousin, with just 30 seconds in the middle between. He noticed that Crawford had a battle booked for August and anticipated that Crawford would pulverize his rival at 54, including Madrimov. In one more meeting, the lobby of popularity warrior-turned-expert moved to a more saved viewpoint, as featured in a news section with Genius Box Television. Bradley said a definitive objective is Terence Crawford needs to confront Canelo Alvarez. He's on the last part of his vacation, he said. He just had a couple of battles left, and he needs to expand as much cash as possible. And that is the Canelo battle. However, you all said it, Madrimov is no simple errand. Terence needs to get past him first. In the meantime, Madrimov referenced that Andre Ward had been helping Crawford with competing. He commented his assisting Terence Crawford might help him, yet perhaps not. Will find in the ring, assuming that something spurs him and assists him. Great for him with balling is assisting me plan for the battle. Crawford's instructional meetings with the 40-year-old Andre Ward haven't drawn in much consideration. Ward's battling style is essentially unique. In relation to Madrimov, and the exercise film uncovers that Ward doesn't appear to be in top shape. Madrimov added, we pick our way. His way was in proficient confining, and my way was novice boxing. So I proceeded to bring home different big showdowns as a beginner. Madrimov's broad novice vocation has likely furnished him with more experience, contrasted with Crawford's expert record. While Madrimov confronted various tip-top rivals in the novice positions, Crawford's expert record incorporates various matches against less impressive adversaries both early and later in his profession. Madrimov added, once we got into the Masters, we went the hard way. We picked the hard way, with each of the 10 battles being extreme battles. 6 of them were title eliminators, and every one of them were intense, so fierce opposition. Yes, he's more known yet. That is my chance before the battle. Eddie Hearn took the risk to incite Crawford. Yet Crawford answered enthusiastically in a video, pondering his most memorable world title prevail upon Ricky Consumes in Scotland, which Hearn had advanced. Crawford brought up that he was 3-0 against Hearn, featuring his undefeated record in battles advanced by Hearn and referencing his triumph over Hearn's top boss. Yet Hearn answered with humor, expressing that Crawford actually owed him for a lodging breakfast, and proposing that the Consumes battle ought to have finished in a draw. The energetic trade turned out to be more serious when Hearn remarked on Crawford's conduct, paving the way to the Madrimov battle. Hearn noticed that Crawford appeared to be curiously anxious, and that his energy showed up off. He communicated worry about Crawford's presentation, suggesting that he probably won't be treating the battle in a serious way.